Over the years, Odoo have made quite a number of changes to their bank reconciliation system. Some of those changes quite minor, some of them have been quite big changes. In Odoo version 19, the changes are quite major. They've changed the entire UI and how the system works. So let's have a look at the changes in Odoo 19 compared to Odoo version 18 so that you know exactly how you can do your bank reconciliations and achieve everything in Odoo. If you've been using Odoo for quite some time, say back from version 15 or before, then you might recognize the bank reconciliation as something like this. This is how they used to do it back in version 15. It was not particularly intuitive, it was a little bit clunky, and it was very easy to get things wrong. In newer versions from 16 to 18, they changed it to look like this. And this might be what you're more familiar with, where you have the list of statement lines down the left-hand side, and then you match those against the possible transactions in the right-hand side. In Odoo version 19, it has changed to this. Now, this looks very different, and we understand that for some people it's a little bit intimidating. It's quite a big change, and if you're used to what Odoo 18 was doing and how it worked, this might confuse you and you might get a bit lost. Let's have a look at the details of this though, because as we've been playing with this new version of the bank reconciliation system, we've actually found that it's quicker to achieve your bank reconciliation, and it actually works quite well. So let's have a look together. So first of all, let's have a look at how things were in version 18. This is the view that you might be familiar with. Down the left-hand side, we have all of our statement lines that have been either imported from our bank or uploaded from a CSV. And when you select these, you get contextual changes on the right-hand side to suggest the lines that you might want to reconcile this against. So for example, if we take this Deco Addict invoice statement line, so they've made a payment of $750. Odoo has picked up the invoice reference, and it is suggesting in the reconciliation that this is how you want to reconcile it. It's got it right. This is a $750 payment towards this particular invoice. If we wanted to change it, we can. So we could maybe deselect this and select this, and it would assign it to a different invoice. That is a choice that we are able to make in this system. So if we were happy with this, we hit validate and it does the reconciliation. For something like bank fees, there were two ways that we could handle this. Either we can do a manual operation, and then we come here and we search for bank fees as a account, and then that will add the line up here. Or we could set up a reconciliation model, which you do via this menu here, and it can create one of these buttons in the top right hand corner that you can click to automatically allocate it to the right account or whatever. So in this case, we're happy with this one. We hit validate and it goes away. So that's how you would process your bank reconciliation in Odoo version 18. Now let's have a look at how it looks in Odoo version 19. So straight away in Odoo version 19, we can see there's a big difference between this reconciliation screen. This here is your statement lines, what's been imported from your bank or uploaded via your CSV, but there's nothing on the right hand side for you to reconcile against. Why is that? Well, they've tried to make this reconciliation a little bit smarter, to make the suggestions a little bit more intuitive, and to make the UI a little bit easier to use. So for example, a payment that has come in for an invoice like this one here from Lights Up, it's matched here. This blue suggests that it's already identified what partner this relates to. If we want to change that, we hit this little X and we can select a different partner. But it's identified that it's for Lights Up, and it's identified the invoice that this payment should be for based on the description that was provided when they made the payment through the bank. So we can see here we have this little one next to our reconcile button, which means it's suggesting one possible transaction that we might want to reconcile this against. So if we click this, we get a pop-up. This is its suggestion. These are the invoices for the partner Lights Up, and this is the right invoice. Now, if it was not the right invoice, which is possible, we can just change this, get rid of this, and it will show us all of our invoices, and we can match it against something different. But in this case, it got it right. So we click that. Instantly, it's reconciled. No need to click the validate button or anything like that. It's showing us that it has reconciled it. And now we get this little drop down here to show us what it reconciled it against, what account it went to, and all the information that we might want to see. If it's wrong, if we need to change it, we can do that. We've either got an edit button here that we can edit what was reconciled, or we can hit the little trash button and it will reset the reconciliation. If you remember, in version 18 there was a reset button for each transaction, but you had to go in and find the transaction and hit reset and things like that. With this, the transaction's still on the screen. We can hit the little trash icon, it will reset it. It's still making the same suggestion because it still thinks that that is the right invoice for it to suggest against, but we can make whatever changes were necessary and verify it, and there we go, it is reconciled. It's actually quite easy, and then we can collapse that down and get it out of the way. Same is true for this one down here. It's identified Gemini Furniture as the partner, and we can reconcile against that. Click to confirm. There we go, reconciled, done. Seconds. It's actually very straightforward. For this one here, it didn't identify who the partner is. So there's a few different ways that we can deal with that. Either we can set the partner, we can tell it who it is. We can set an account if it doesn't actually relate to a partner, and this is something that we've paid, maybe an expense or something along those lines. We can just credit it directly to the chart of accounts, to the correct account that it needs to go to. Or we have the three dots and it gives us a few different options. Here we have internal transfers, owner's current account. These are the same as the buttons that you used to have in the top right hand corner, the reconciliation models. We can do upload bills. So if we've got a bill for this that we haven't uploaded yet, we can do that directly from here. Or we can do reconcile to just manually pick what it's supposed to reconcile against with the same pop-up that we had for the other transactions. If we want to modify our models, we can change the manage models here, and these are the various different reconciliation models that we have available. You modify these the same way that you used to do in version 18. So let's set a partner for this one. It gives us a list of all the partners, and if we say Openwood Inc., this is why it couldn't find it, because we've got it as Openwood in our system, not Openwood Inc. So let's identify that it is this partner, and now, okay, if it's Openwood Inc., now we can suggest what it's supposed to reconcile against. Prepayment for invoice number 9, let's have a look. Oh look, here's invoice number 9. So the customer didn't put in the correct payment reference, it couldn't identify it properly, but Odoo is still managing to suggest that it is probably this invoice that you want to reconcile against. We click, it's reconciled, it's done, dealt with. Now let's have a look at this one here. So this one, it's difficult to tell from the description what this is, but thankfully we have a reconciliation model set up to identify that this is bank fees. So let's have a look at the reconciliation models that we've got available. So here we have the reconciliation model for line with bank fees. If we have a look at this, we can see that it's been set up where the label contains BRT, which this particular line does. Then we match some of the line against product sales, where it finds this information in the label, and then anything else is marked as bank fees. So this is quite a complex reconciliation model. Let's see what it's doing. If we go back here and what it's suggesting, we can hit line with bank fees, and we can then have a look at the information. So it's posted $100 to product sales and $333 to bank fees. And if you have a look at the line that was given in the explanation, in the reference, we see BRT 100. It found that in the line description and was able to attribute that to the product sales correctly. So it has done this reconciliation correctly according to the rules that we gave it. If for some reason it hadn't, maybe the reference that they've given us wasn't quite right, or there was some mistake, again, we can hit the pencil, we can edit it, and we can make it correct. So let's move on to the next one. Office rent. With office rent, this one, we don't have a bill for it. We don't have a partner for it. So we just set an account. And if we search for rent, we can pick rent, and there we go, done. That's our reconciliation done. It's in the background. It's made all the journals that we need to mark that as rent, to post it into the various different accounts that it needs to go to. So actually, when you look at it, although this is quite intimidating to start with, when you actually start using it, you can actually get through your bank reconciliation very, very quickly. We've been playing with it a little bit with a couple of different customers and with our own accounts, and we've actually found that our bank reconciliation process is easier and faster with the new version in Odoo 19. So there you go. That's the new Odoo 19 bank reconciliation system. What do you think of it? Leave a note in the comments if you've given it a try, if you like it, if you don't like it. What don't you like about it? I can understand if you don't like it, but let us know, because we're curious to find out what people do and don't like about this new system. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications of new videos when they're released. I've been El Bristow, and you've been watching Everything in Odoo.